Hey everybody, welcome to a very curious edition of Gearfacts. This is an intriguing instrument. It's the Casio XW-PD1. It's a synthesizer, a sequencer, and a sampler, all in one unit. Obviously the concept of those three instruments has been heavily overhauled and redesigned here. So just to dive right into it, I'll show you a loop that I've made myself. Obviously I've still got a bit of practice to do as far as improvising on this thing goes. The synth scales work just the same as you would expect to find on a sampler. An array of 16 buttons that take you through any particular octave that you choose. Now that feels very natural to touch and easy to control. I've got 4 sound banks running at the moment. There's my drums. And I can choose from about 250 different sounds. And to be honest, that's about as far as my understanding of the XW-PD1 goes at this stage. What I can show you though is a whole bunch of really exciting patterns that are built into the unit. Now a lot of these patterns are set up with the effects and dynamics all ready to be used and tried out. So let's have a listen to this one. So that works pretty well. Just by pressing buttons on these 2 top rows, we can get all kinds of dynamic changes, and the bottom rows can be put aside for controlling extra instrument sounds. Let's try this one. Interesting. And stopping any pattern, we can then go ahead and play the instruments that make up that pattern by pressing the bank button and just choosing one of those 4 tracks. Okay, and looks like our effects are still switched on as well. I love that one. Okay, so let's take a bit of a closer look. Here's the main control panel on which you can select your sequence functions, different banks of sequences, different banks of sounds, and you can also control your sampling as well. There are assignable faders and assignable dials to control your effects, as well as using the 2 top rows of sampler buttons. Basic volume and value controls are there, and mix fader between external and internal signals. You may have noticed before that the sequencer is counted in 16 beats and it goes around in a circle like that. And this is one of the great design overhauls that Casio has taken a big gamble on. I think it works pretty well. For the right kind of mind, this could be a really logical and sensible setup. Portability seems to be at the top of the agenda here because it runs on batteries. It does have an internal speaker. You can do everything completely independently. At the side here, the inputs and outputs are all pretty simple. We've got USB on the left there, and there is some really good software that you can download from Casio for free to manage your samples and help you create sequences. In the middle there, you can see the input volume so that you don't get distortion when you're making a sample from an outside source. Lines in and out, of course, and over on the right there, you've got the power coming in and the cable that goes out to my speaker monitor through which you're hearing this demo. battery socket on the back. You can run it on a standard 9-volt guitar pedal type adapter as well. Although it's interesting to note that the adapter that comes with it is 9.5 volt and has a slightly different size socket. So what's the verdict? Well, at the end of the day, it's something that's pretty much completely unique. It's clear that there's a lot of potential in here. It is something that you will have to sit down and spend quite a lot of time learning. I've only had about half an hour with it, so what would I really know? But I think the word intriguing, and I won't say it again, but the word intriguing does indeed sum it up. This is a really fascinating instrument, and I think it's well worth a go. There are some surprising sounds, and there's certainly plenty of scope for creativity. And a lot of that is fostered through this radical redesign that Casio has embarked upon. Bit of a risk for Casio, I have to say, but there's no doubt that this will be remembered by anyone who uses it. So that's the Casio XW-PD1. Thanks for watching Gearfacts, guys. Please hit that subscribe button, and feel free to leave me a comment. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again for the next demo.